Welcome to Warrior Wednesdays. This is a very special day because we have a very special guest. This is Nathan Bywaters and his mother, Jennifer. And I'm thrilled to have you here. And I got to say, I got called out is how this came about, because I met Nathan this past weekend when we were filming American Ninja Warrior in Atlanta, Georgia. He was interviewing me, and the toughest question he asked is, hey, when are you going to have a kid on Warrior Wednesdays? And I thought, this is it. So here it is. I'm with the Heart Warriors. So you two, you have an unbelievable story, and I'll let you guys tell this together. But how did you come to be known as the Heart Warrior?
I am the Heart Warrior because I am a Heart Warrior. So I'm Nathan the Heart Warrior because I'm Nathan and I'm a Heart Warrior.
What does it mean to be a Heart Warrior?
Have surgery, I'm guessing.
Yeah, Nathan has a heart defect that we found when he was about 6 years old. And so he just recently had open heart surgery in October. So that's kind of where he's had this dream of being on Ninja Warrior for a while now, ever since he started watching the show. And I thought to myself, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and make him Nathan the Heart Warrior, because he definitely has been a warrior. Open heart surgery is no joke, and he did really great with it. So
that's what's amazing to me is looking at Nathan. When I met him, you'd never know this is a kid that just a few months ago was on the table with his chest cracked open. And the thing I love about this, Nathan, is as I looked on some of the websites, I saw a picture of you without your shirt on, smiling ear to ear with the scar on your chest, holding up a sign. And do you remember what that sign said?
Yes.
What did it say?
Like, scars are beautiful.
That's right. And I love that, because that's the whole point of Warrior Wednesdays. As we go through life, we're all going to face challenges, and challenges that leave scars on us physically or emotionally. And I love when people own them the way you have. So Nathan, let me ask you, when you found out you're 6 years old, it's got to be hard to even understand something's wrong with your heart. What goes through your mind?
I don't really know, because that was a couple of years ago, and I'm like I'm not really too scared about it. I'm just like, okay, I'm here. I don't know what to do. I don't know. Like, I wasn't really that scared until I was like 7 and I knew what was going to happen. Mm-hmm. I was kind of more confident because I knew what was going to happen and it was going to be good.
So, Jennifer, for you, I imagine it was a little scarier.
It was very scary. He told me at the time, because, at that age, a lot of kids with heart defects, it's found when the mother's pregnant or when they're infants and they go through these surgeries, and a lot of times they never even remember that they had the surgery.
Sure.
Their childhoods look a lot different than Nathan's. We're lucky, like, he had a normal childhood without all of that. But it was very scary for me. And I remember asking him, I'm like, are you worried about it? And I remember him telling me, like, Mom, I know you've got this taken care of. I've got good doctors. Oh. I'm good. And for us, I think that with Nathan, his condition's very rare. So it's not normally found unless you're an adult, like until you start having symptoms. There are no symptoms until you're an adult. Or if it happens with another heart defect, sometimes they find it when you're younger. But typically, if that's the only one, you don't know until you're an adult, and there's nothing they can do. You'll end up he would have ended up with heart failure for sure as an adult.
So, in a way, it was fortunate that this was discovered. So
yes, definitely. He had the flu. That's how we found out. He had the flu. I've never been so thankful for the flu in my life. Wow. And it was an after-hour pediatrician. It was a random pediatrician we had never met who heard a heart murmur and sent us to a cardiologist. And the cardiologist listened to him for like 20 seconds, and she said, oh, it's an innocent heart murmur. I'm not worried about it at all, but his EKG was off. So we're going to check just to make sure. Like, I'm not expecting anything. But 45 minutes later, when the doctor comes in and takes over the echocardiogram, something's wrong.
Something's wrong.
I was really too scared because I was a Harry Potter fan, so Mom was reading Harry Potter.
You're a Harry Potter fan, so you knew that a mother's love is the most powerful spell in the world. That's what protected Harry. And you clearly have that. I'm a Harry Potter fan too, clearly. So Nathan, what's it like though when you hear, as you said, you knew it was going to get serious and you know you're going to have surgery. for someone your age, how do you process that? I mean, I think you talk to your mom, but what do you go through when you hear you're going to have this open heart surgery?
Well, for someone, I was like really scared. I'm like, what? I'm gonna have surgery? What? I don't want this. Like, I don't want it. But then, like, time over time, I actually kind of got more confident that I'm gonna have surgery because, like, at first I'm like, I don't want a scar. I don't want a scar. But then
Really?
later I'm like, well, a scar is kind of cool.
That's a great approach, is embracing your scars. So Jennifer, I'm sure one of the things is, I know there are so many parents out there who might have a child who is facing health challenges. And it seems one of the things that I love about you two is how open you are in communicating about what's going on. But how do you, what would you tell parents out there as a mom? What lessons have you learned about how to get your child through something like this, like an open heart surgery?
It's really hard as a parent because you want to protect your children. You don't want them to have to go through something so painful and so hard. And I just remember before, I kind of was caught up about the scar too. I'm like, of all things, who cares about the scar? But this is the last time I'm going to see his chest normal without the scar. And I knew it was going to be rough. Like, I knew it was going to be a rough process, but what I've seen coming through this, like, I never would have wished this on him. Like, I would never in a million years. Like, I wish we never had to go through this. But the person that he has become because of what he has had to go through and what he has overcome, it's just amazing.
Oh, come on. You're gonna make me cry here, Nathan.
It's amazing. And I would, like I said, and I know when you're in the middle of it, like, there were days where, I mean, he doesn't know this, but there's days where I'm just crying. I'm like, I don't know, as a parent, like, I don't know how I'm going to do this because I know it's going to be hard and it's going to hurt. And I would cry and I would think that I don't know how we're going to get through this, but we got through it with the support of our family and our friends and our faith. And it really has just shaped him into this incredible kid that really, he believes in, like, when he believes with all his heart that he can do whatever he puts his mind to. And part of it is just because of what he's been through. Like, he knows, like, you can do hard things, right? Like, yeah. That's one of the things we say in this family is we can do hard things and never give up.
Oh, so, and the other thing that I would look at, one of the things I think when you look at the scars is you realize that scar is there. The chest may not look normal, but I would much rather have that scar and have the heart be normal. And that scar is a reminder of what you went through and what you struggled through. So Nathan, I mean, she kind of mentioned it, this confidence of you can get through anything, never give up. How do you feel that having to go through this whole process, your mom has mentioned it changed you. What do you feel that's different? When you look at other kids, what do you feel your advantages over other kids that haven't had to face something so challenging?
More bravery.
Dang straight you are. Well, and I knew that because you came up, and that was what was so cool. You're 8. First of all, I thought you were like 11 or 12 because you had such a confidence. But you were interviewing me for part of Channel 11 in Atlanta, and I started to get nervous because you were so good. I thought you were going to steal my job. But it was so impressive to see this and to see this bravery and confidence you got through. So Nathan, what would you tell kids who are facing challenges?
To never give up.
Yeah, that's such advice.
You've got more. He says these really profound things when I don't have my camera like recording or anything to write with. Can you do it on the spot? Like, what did you told me the other day about we actually had a 17-year-old girl that reached out to us on Instagram after following his story. Do you want to tell them about what she said?
She said that she was going to have surgery because she had 4 kidneys. Am I right?
No. She had heart surgery. Oh. She had open heart surgery
at the age of 17, and she was like, I don't want to survive. This is unfair. Life is unfair. But then when she started to see my posts and all this, she really think that having a scar was different after.
Yeah.
It made her different. And what did you say about that? Like, about being different? What did you say?
It's better.
Why is it better? Explain that.
It's better because God gave you a better purpose in life to show kids that they can do stuff and other kids. Because it's really cool that I can inspire someone that's older than me too.
Well, That's one of the things is I know I remember as a kid and even as an adult, we so often want to fit in. We don't want to be different. And even if you go through something, a lot of people choose not to talk about it. You've been very open about it. How did you decide that you wanted to be not only sharing the story, you've owned it. You are the heart warrior. How did you come to that decision that you were going to share this story with everyone?
I don't really get the question.
What made you want to share? What made you want to tell people about your story?
I wanted to tell people about my story because I thought it was really cool and it was inspiring too.
It is. I guess what's so awesome about you is you may not even understand how rare and how courageous that is, Nathan. That most people don't feel comfortable doing that. And to me, the fact that you inspired this 17-year-old girl is proof of why what you do, why sharing your story is so important. Because it's not just about you owning your story. It's about the fact that by you going through these struggles and being so brave, you inspire other people to fight for themselves. So that's awesome.
And before
so I know one of the things you had. Oh, go ahead, Jennifer.
Before his surgery, that was really, this is what kind of helped get him through the surgery. I kid you not, like before we rolled him back, he made a video for people like, hey people, I'm going into my surgery. He was just so calm and collected, and like he was documenting this process so that he could give hope to other kids. Like that was just kind of his purpose through all of it. And I mean, there's even, videos that I took and he's like smiling, he's got the scar and the chest tubes, and he's like, it's a great day. And I'm like, really? It's a great day? I was just having to coach you with breathing exercises because the pain was so bad. And we're just trying to get through breath by breath. And you're like, hey people, it's a great day.
So has he always had this positive outlook, Jennifer?
He has, yeah.
So one of the things you mentioned, Jennifer, was you've gotten through this, you said family and faith, friends. When you have those dark days, though, and of course, I'm sure you still have them, but when you really were in the middle of this, what do you think really? And again, what I want is for people at home who might be facing these struggles to learn from what you went through. What do you think it was that really helped you, or how would you snap yourself out when you felt so hopeless or so sad?
The key, and this is hard because I feel like I'm one of those I'm very open and I'll talk about things, but I'm also like, I want people to think, I don't know, you don't want people to know that you're not okay. You know what I mean? It's hard to be vulnerable, like in the middle of it, it's really hard. Even my sister, and that's what I ended up doing. Like I was having one of those days where I'm just crying. I can't. And it was hard to even text my sister, and my sister and I are very close and I love her very much. But even to admit to her, like, Stephanie, I can't do this. And that was hard for me, but that was the turning point for me, because when I did text her that, she sent me back these, she was going through something kind of hard too. And she's like, these are my songs. And it was worship songs that were like, it's kind of like repeating the same thing over and over. This is how I fight my battles, is the song. And that's what I would do. I would play that song. At that time, I couldn't even find the words to pray sometimes because it was really scary and hard, but I could play that song and I could sing those words, and I know I can get through this, and I'm going to get through this. And that's kind of, I mean, even in the hospital, we had some pretty rough times, right? And I mean, he's out there and I'm in the bathroom crying, playing my song. Like, I can do this. I've got to get back out there for him and be strong, because as a mom, you feel like you have to be strong for them, especially when they're hurting so badly, to help them through. But that's kind of being vulnerable, opening up myself to be vulnerable in the moment. Like, it's much easier for me to talk about it now. But
Sure.
In the middle of it, it was very difficult for me to say, hey, I just can't.
I love that you said that, because I think that's the whole point with Warrior Wednesdays, is so many people struggle alone and they don't want to admit it. And I thought it was so beautiful that you said when you finally admitted to your sister, I can't do this, it was the turning point, because she then opened up about her struggles and you started sharing coping tips. And that's the whole point of this, is I know people who are going to be watching this are going to be going through something in silence. And hopefully by seeing this, they'll realize people want to help, but they can't help you unless you open yourself up and ask for that help. And it's beautiful that your sister was there, that your family was there, and that the songs get through it. And it is just finding something to get you through it is so one of the things I keep hearing, whether it's repeating a mantra, whether it's a song, whatever it is, but that thing of, I'm not going to give up. So I know you've also had some support from Georgia Tech for Kids. Now I know you're a Bulldog, so it must have been a little hard. But what has it meant though to have support from strangers?
It's actually kind of good because like at first we were at a Smart Heart, then like moms that were at a table talking to some Georgia Tech people, and then they like those Alana and Mom started to connect, and then me and Alana met, and then it was just something new because I was meeting a lot of new people too.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very special connection right away, and they sent him a video like the next day. They had their big meeting, and there's 200 of them saying, "We love you, Nathan," and that was just kind of the start.
Look at his face lighting up. I love that
Yes.
smile there.
And we gave him a hard time in the hospital because he had on his Georgia socks, with the no slip at the bottom, and he had his Falcons blanket, but it was like all red and black. And we're talking smack. We're like, well, we're dog fans, but it's cool that y'all are here. But they really have. He's working on his application for American Ninja Warrior Junior, and at one point he mentions Georgia Tech for the Kids, and he says they're kind of like my second home. And they really have become like this. I mean, they were even there at the TV Monday night, and they're like, we never even watched the show before Nathan, but we're here for Nathan. There are 8 to 10 of them, I don't know, that came just to support Nathan's, job there as a special reporter at Channel 11. They love him, and he has. What has it meant to you?
It just means a lot that I have more people caring too.
It's so awesome. I mean, I know they helped raise money for the Sibley Heart Center, which is where you had the surgery done. And I just think, again, it's that thing of, it's so amazing how when you reach out, when you start sharing your story, there's so many people there to help. But it starts with asking, and it starts with being open to it. So Nathan,
yeah,
you're healthy, you're doing great, you have unbelievable energy and optimism. What's the future now for the Heart Warrior?
It's gonna be good. I'm an American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, buddy. Jennifer, what is it for you, having gone through this, seeing him come out on the other side? How does it feel knowing all this hard-earned, I mean, to see him smiling and talking about a future now when that may have been in doubt for a while?
It feels really good. It's sometimes, I feel like those days in the hospital, it's kind of like having a newborn. You're just kind of you're exhausted, and it kind of goes by in a haze. It's almost surreal, like it's happening to somebody else. And I look back sometimes and it just seems kind of blurry. Like I'm kind of like, did that really happen to us? Like I see the scar, it's here. Like sometimes I just think like, wait, let me see that scar again. I see it's there. But sometimes it's just hard to believe because he is doing so amazing, and he's so strong, and the stuff that he does, like my friends see the videos we post of him and doing parkour, doing ninja, and they're like, how do you let him do that? And I'm like, well, it's not easy. The first day he went back to school after his heart surgery was harder than the first day of kindergarten. It was not easy to let him go back into the world because as a parent, you're just kind of scared. But it's really amazing to see him going for his dreams, and because we are talking about it and open, the opportunities that are coming for him have just been like this. This is so cool that he's getting to do this because he was brave enough to ask you. Like, straight up.
Let me know about his story. And again, that's why I salute you, Nathan, and you, Jennifer, because again, so many people don't share these stories. They hide them, or they just want to feel normal instead of owning them. And to me, you have such power when you own your story and you share your story. You see the impact that you just nano, you live long and prosper. You inspired a 17-year-old, and that's just who's reached out to you. I mean, the amount of people who are going to draw courage from you being brave, Nathan, is awesome. So part of being the Warrior Wednesday honoree is there's a $250 donation to the charity of your choice. So what charity would you guys like this money to go to?
I know.
What
Children's
is,
Care of Atlanta.
which one?
So there's a charity at Children's Healthcare. It's through the Sibley Heart Center. It's called Kids at Heart, and that's also been a huge part of us coping. They are a nonprofit organization that works to support heart families, and it's an amazing group. They do events throughout the year for heart families to come together and connect and to make these kids feel special. And they do all kinds of stuff. Like, I could talk forever about them. They also do this awesome camp over the summer called Camp Braveheart that Nathan, it's for heart children, and it's at a camp that's prepared for special needs kids. So like some of these heart kids they can't leave their parents because they need tons of medicine, and they have very special like G tubes, like different stuff going on. Right. So when they go there, like parents can send them there and know that they're going to be well taken care of, and they're going to be safe, and it's a safe environment. He had his own nurse, like per cabin. Each cabin has their own nurse, and it's free for heart families, which is also amazing because sometimes having heart problems can cost, it costs lots and lots of money. Sure. So it is nice and then he gets to go and be around kids just like him for a week. It's his favorite thing.
That's
right,
awesome.
It's coming up. Are you excited?
Yes, I really want to go.
So they do a lot of amazing things.
So Kids at Heart, well, they're going to get some support. So listen, I just want to give you guys the final word here. Again, people are watching. You've shared your story. If there are any other final words or lessons or things you think people might need to hear, or things that helped you getting through it that you really want people to remember, now I would love for you to say them.
Okay, I got a scar.
There it is. Scars are beautiful, buddy.
You can't really see it, but it's like right here.
That's a good one. That's got to be like a 6-incher, buddy. That thing's impressive. Well, I love your bravery, and I'm so glad that we got to meet, so you could be our Warrior Wednesdays honoree, buddy.
Thanks.
Now, where am I going to see you in the future? You know the answer.
American Ninja Warrior.
No, say it. Come on, you know how to.
American Ninja Warrior.
Wait, no. You've been practicing just for him, so do it right now.
American Ninja Warrior.
Oh, that's it. Well, we look to see Nathan Bywaters, the Heart Warrior on American Ninja Warrior. Nathan and Jennifer, thank you guys so much for joining me on Warrior Wednesdays. And as always, to everyone out there, if you need a reminder, these two are the perfect example of why. Be brave and keep fighting.